Courage gives me strength.
Yo, what's going on here at Clash Call? Welcome back to a brand new video. Yes, B-Skin S Plus Edition. Let's go! Yes! We're all complete with the S heroes, and now moving on to the very first S Plus hero of B-Skin faction, which is the good old Wolfy Wolf. Calisto, baby. Let's go.
Courage gives me strength.
I'll be honest. Before we jump into her, she is an absolute monster, a beast. Let's just get to her. Here we go. Jumping into her first core skill we have is Star Soul Roar. Calisto launches multiple strikes to deal 200% of attack as damage to enemies in the front row and permanently increase their damage received by 15%, up to 300%. Okay. Level 2, the same thing, but 250% of attack and increased damage to 25%. And level 3, the most important one, launch multiple strikes to deal 300% of attack as damage to enemies in the front row and permanently increase their damage received by 35%. Yes! Oh, man, she's a 50-50, yo. Of course, she's a B-Skin and an assassin. Let's go. Moving on to her good old Starlight Shield. Calisto summons a Starlight Realm and increases the damage reduction of all allies by 10% for 2 turns. Yes. Level 2, 15% damage reduction, and level 3, 20% damage reduction. Yes. Woo, man, she's OP. Moving on to her second core skill, we have a Starlight Descent. Calisto's basic attacks deal 100% of attack as damage to 2 random enemies, then increase their damage received by 15%. Cannot exceed 300%. Level 2, deal 150% of attack as damage, and level 3, deal 200% of attack as damage. And level 4, which is 9 red legendary relics, targets increase to 3. Whoa. Increased damage up by 25% up to 300. What? Man, dude. We might have to work on her in the near future. I'm talking like in a few months after season. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know what season she's going to be, but definitely going to work on her eventually. Moving on to her final is Astral Infusion. Calisto summons an Astral Infusion. Basic attacks heal an ally with the lowest HP to 150% of attack. Okay. Level 2, 200% of attack. And level 3, increase healing to 250% of attack. And then 3 red legendary relics. Level 4, restores HP equal to 300% of attack. Okay. Now, before we deep dive, we're going to go into the good old Awakening skill. In the first 2 turns of the battle, increase attack by 20% and crit by 20%. Moving on to her exclusive gear skill we have is Starlight Prayer. Level 1, increase the recovery effect of Astral Infusion by 50%. Cool Beans, level 10, 100%. Level 20, 150%. And level 30, switch the targets of recovery when Astral Infusion is triggered to 2 allies with the lowest HP. And then level 40, when the target of Astral Infusion recovery has less than 50 HP, the recovery effect will be doubled. Okay, so if you end up getting her level 30, level 40, then I would slowly change gears. Gear skill. Change gears. Let's go. Then I would start changing gears to focusing on increasing her attack for the HP. Because if you go back to her core skill, where is it? Astral Infusion, where is it at? Where are you at? So as you can see with Astral Infusion, it's her attack that equals how much they get healed. So attack, attack, attack. If you have her level 30, level 40. Okay. So with that being said, let's deep dive into her good old runes, baby. Now, there's multiple things you can choose, but I think the best of the best, especially for her, would be Samurai. Yes. I think, and I'll explain that once I equip these really quick. I'm just going to slap some on. So go over to Samurai. Where are you at? There we go. I'm just going to slap these on real quick. Now, the reason why you want to do Samurai is because after launching a basic attack, there is a 40% chance to launch another basic attack and trigger a basic attack bonus. Yes, and this will also trigger her bonus when it comes to increasing the received damage on that enemy, which is absolutely phenomenal. Yes, I'm going with that 100%. Okay. Now, when it comes to secondary runes, I would 100% go with either Evolution or Judgment. Depends on what you want to focus on. Yeah, her Star Infusion thingy is cool, But if you don't have her level 30, because I don't, then I would go with evolution 100%. You want to prolong her in the game, level 3, level 5, you know, or round 3, round 5, round 7. You know, the longer she goes, the more opportunities you have to get that receive damage of the enemy to 300%. And 3x is a lot. Just saying, you know. So I would choose evolution until you get level 30 on her exclusive gear skill, then go to judgment. So she's like mainly 50-50. Now, if you just went straight offense, which would not be the move, I'm not even gonna recommend anything offense. I'm not. I think that's not the move. So we're gonna go with evolution. Let's go. There we go. Okay. Now moving on to good old. Let's do talents real quick. Talents. I'm 100% going to go with Esper Shield. If you're on a defense perspective, if you want to prolong her 5, 10 rounds, Esper Shield, you know, because that 25% max HP for 2 turns is absolutely money. However, if you're down the middle, 50-50, and she's already attacking 4 heroes or 2 heroes, depending on how much you ever upgraded, I would probably slap on Precision Strike. Yeah, she's going to be one of those heroes that has 2 offensive talents and 2 defensive talents, and we're going to explain it right here. Now, moving on to mythic talents, I think 100% I would go with Selfless Protection. I think this would be a good defensive strategy. Just weak point, no. Fatal Blow. You could argue Fatal Blow if you want her to be more offensive, but it's not the move. Definitely not Giant Killer because she's going to have a high HP, okay? So moving on to Transcendent Talents, since she is able to heal, I would probably slap on Violent Recovery. Has a chance to trigger 2x healing based on crit. I think that'd be absolutely phenomenal. However, from an offensive perspective, I would just go with Violent Recovery. You could argue excess heal from a defense perspective, but even Wrathful Curse, it's not the move. She's not a huge offensive hero. She's down the middle, you know? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Here's where that 50-50 comes in at when it comes to an offensive perspective, when it comes to Eternal Talents. 100% rapid circulation, yes. The reason why is because if you get off another attack, you're going to increase the received damage of the enemy, whoever she hits, which is absolutely phenomenal, yes. Now, you could argue Rampart if you're going straight defense. However, I don't think that's the move because Rampart only focuses on the allies in the same column, which is 1 hero, when you could do rapid circulation and it benefits, well, it doesn't benefit any of the enemies, you know, so so 100% rapid circulation. Like I said, you're going to have that 50-50 split on talents, and I think that's the move, okay? Now moving on to good old armor. Depending on what her exclusive gear level she's at, level 30 plus, I would do HP/attack, more emphasis on attack. However, I think speed is the move. I think speed is number 1. It's all about getting her attacks off first, and then secondary, I would go with attack/HP. Now, you could argue crit a little bit, but I wouldn't put crit on her. I wouldn't try to hit a critical hit with her. I just, not the move, you know? Okay, so now moving on to artifact list. Now, this is going to be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Because she's offensive and defensive, more defensive. Now, you could rock out good old Sun Amulet because you get the attack and the HP, and at the end of each turn, you get to recover some HP. So I think Sun Amulet would be money for her, 100%. You could argue Time Amulet because you get damage reduction to HP. However, this is more of a huge defensive type strategy where you want her to go round 7 to round whatever. I would say Sun Amulet is better if you're going, you know, the first 5 rounds. After 5 rounds, if you don't have the game in the bag, then something's wrong. Unless it's PvE. If it's PvP, whole different story. Okay. So moving on to, can we argue anything else? Honestly, you could argue Shiny Amulet as well if you want her to be more offensive. Like, she's one of those heroes where you can almost argue any artifact, except for Ocean Amulet and Silver Moon, 'cause it sucks. You can even argue Mountain. Ew, Mountain. Moving on to Holy Praise. Now, 100%, I'm going to have to go with Eternal Cloak. Because, yeah, she's going to have a higher attack, so you might as well get that shield to go longer rounds. However, if you're going against an enemy that just loves the stun, and there are some people out there that love the stun, or in any PvE modes where you're going against any debuff heroes, then definitely Arcane Ring. She's one of those heroes, if she gets stunned, it's only going to, you know, hurt the team tremendously, you know? So I think Arcane Ring or Eternal Cloak. I'm moving on to good old Abyss items. Ooh, that Abyss giveaway we have going on, or had going on, depending on when you're watching this video. The beginning of December. I would have to go with... Man, there's so many. Nah, I wouldn't choose... What is this one? Based on your HP? No. I would have to slap... Dude, Devil's Lance is the move, because you get the attack, HP, armor penetration from more of an offensive perspective. And then increase attack by 15% at the start of the battle. I think, yo, Devil's Lance might be the move for her from more of an offensive perspective. Now, focus on a defensive perspective. Yo, I don't know. Maybe Devil's Bone Spike. So you just that's more defensive too. Yeah, one of those two. That's it. Bone Sword, no. Van Brace, no. Flag would go on someone else like Fagin. Devil's Wings. Yo, yes, Devil's Wings. Yep, too easy because she gets the speed. I totally forgot about this. A crit damage resistance and HP. The reason why you want to choose Devil's Wings in this particular scenario is because when you get her speed all the way up, she's going to attack first. And you already know if she attacks first, it only benefits the team if she goes first, you know? That's how I look at it. Okay, so turnaround. There we go. Let's see what the game recommends. Here we go. Tutorial. We have a Sun Amulet and Eternal Cloak. Completely 100% agree. And then they recommend talents as per shield, defense, self-protection, defense, excess heal, defense. Completely comprehend that one. Completely understand. And then rapid circulation, 100%. Yo, this tutorial is actually on point. This is very rare. Everyone gather around. Hero Clash made an actually good recommendation. What? Now, wait, we're not done yet. Here we go. Recommended runes we have is Samurai and Evolution. This is the very first one where it's actually spot on in every single category. Good job, Hero Clash. With that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. Greatness manifested.